It was blocked by Davis. Davis with a great block there. Vanderbilt quickly trapped and blitzed. Inside, Davis releasing. Inside, a lot of congestion. Got it. What a feed and what a two. Great finish. 17 for Davis. Shooting has been tough from outside. 1 of 6 from 3. Russell kind of carving his way in for 2. We'll check in with Allie here in a second. 5 rebounds. LeBron out to Russell. There's the 3. Good. Russell hits the triple.
A valiant effort by the Los Angeles Lakers, which just had an opportunity to close out the series against Memphis, and it didn't happen. The Lakers fall 116-99. They still lead the best of 7 series, 3-2. Game 6 will be here Friday night at Crypto.com Arena at 7:30. You can catch it on TNT or your local stations, but Game 6 will be here. Very pitiful here because if Memphis wins, then the series heads back to Memphis for Game 7 on Sunday, which is something the Laker fans don't want to happen. So let's talk about tonight's game. It was very much of a shaky start. 38-24 at the end of one. 61-52 at the end of the first half. Second half, they went on a 9-0 run to get within 1, but that was the closest they could get. They didn't lead much after that. Memphis just ran away with it. They put up 33 in the third, and again, the final score was 116-99. LeBron James, he played 37 minutes after playing 45, close to 50 minutes on Monday in the pivotal Game 5 or Game 4 win here in LA. He only had 15 points. Austin Reeves, he had 17 points, played 40 minutes. Anthony Davis led the way with 31 points, 19 rebounds in 35 minutes. D'Angelo Russell, he had an off game. He did get a double-double, 11 points on 10 assists. And it was just an awful shooting night for the Lakers. As we take a look at some stats here, the Lakers shot 40%. Memphis shot 44%. Memphis shot well on 3 points. They were 35%. Lakers 25%. And free throws, Memphis 82%. Lakers 75%. You're not going to win games when you give up points. And then the Lakers outbounded Memphis by 2, 54-52. They had rebounds, so that wasn't a bad thing. But you look at the assists, they had a lot. They out-assisted Memphis. They out-blocked them. They out-stole them. But the main factor here was turnovers. 13 turnovers to 11. Excuse me. So what did we learn tonight? The Lakers cannot win on the road. They only won 1 game. And quite frankly, they were lucky enough to win that 1 game because this would have been a slop slide to a point where the Lakers had to win to come back here. Now, because of that Game 1 win, the Lakers have a chance to win this series on Friday, close it out here at home. But I don't know if they can do it. We got to go back to Monday. What happened Monday? The Lakers led by 15 in the second quarter. By halftime, it was about a 5-point game. In the beginning of the third quarter, it was a 2-point game. So, go figure. The Lakers cannot hold on to these big leads at all. We've seen this time and time again. When your best stars don't shoot the ball well, they don't win. In Game 2, Anthony Davis only had about 15 points. That wasn't enough. The inside boards is what makes the difference because when you get those inside shots, you're putting up points. Regardless if you're missing from 3 or free throws, you're getting points in the paint. And tonight, Memphis had 56 points in the paint to the Lakers 48. What does that show you right there? The Lakers didn't have a good defense for posting tonight. Both teams didn't. What corrections have to be made here going into Friday night? First off, you got to slow down those Grizzly players. Bane, he had 33 points tonight. Morant, he had 31 points tonight. Those were the Memphis big two. Jackson Jr. had 18 points. 3 guys in double figures, but you had 2 guys scoring the 30s. If you cannot slow those guys down, you're in trouble. Yes, they got within 1 point in the third quarter, but just cold shooting and turnovers, second chance points, it doomed the Lakers. Just wasn't a good night for the Los Angeles Lakers. A chance to put it away. And I'm telling you right now, Memphis has the advantage because they straight out beat you in their home floor. We thought the overtime game was going to be devastating. You know, because again, Memphis had the chip on their shoulders. They had to win this game because otherwise it was going to be game over in the series. Now, Jay Morant talked to TNT after the game. Let's see what he had to say about tonight's game.
It's our home floor, home crowd. We feed off their energy, and every time we play in this building, they bring it every time for us. Give us the energy we need to go get a win, and this pretty much who we do it for. Outside of ourselves, the team, the organization, our families, our fans is very important to us. So coming out here and protecting home floor is something we take pride in, and something we plan to continue to do.
How much of a relief was it with all the talk that was going on in this series to come out and show with actions what you can do?
It's big time. I feel like that's what we got to do. As much as we tell each other in the locker room after losses or even wins, the things we got to do to come out and get a win, versus this team. We definitely got to take action on it. So tonight, feel like we did a decent job, but we got to be better, especially late in the game. Up 20 plus, and then allow them to start chipping away. We got to finish stronger.
Since returning game 3, you've been unstoppable. You're doing it with a hand injury. You injured your knee tonight. What happened on the knee play, and how are you getting through it?
Honestly, I don't know. I was going to drive, and I felt some pain, and I passed it to Jaren. He hit the 3, and when I came to the bench, I had a knot on the side. I almost freaked out because I didn't know what it was, but I trained the staff to find out what it was, and I take the right treatment and do the right things to be able to be available for the next game.
One tough guy. Thanks.
You can't lose that guy to injury, I'll tell you that right now. If he didn't play tonight, this series would have been over. One thing that got me his attention was the talking. I'm going to say this because I'm an old school sports fan. If you're going to talk, you better back it up. That's the only thing I'm going to say. Because if you talk and you don't back it up and you get your ass kicked, you got no one to blame but yourself because you're going out there running your mouth. Now, I've seen athletes that talk the talk and they walk the walk. But if you're going to talk, you better back it up. Did they do it tonight? Yeah, they did. They went on their home floor in a game that they had to win. Otherwise, the season was going to be over. And they took care of business. I'm not a fan of the jaw jacking. If you're going to talk, back it up. If you're going to talk in a game. Don't talk to the media. Don't talk to TNT. Don't talk to anybody else. Don't talk to Ernie Johnson, nothing. Keep it on the court. That's what I'm going to say. You cannot expect, feedback if you're going out there talking to talk. That just doesn't happen. Now, he has a right to talk because they won. Again, it was a game that they had to have or the season was going to be over. Now, can you back it up going back to Los Angeles? That's still hard to tell. Can they do it? If they play like this tonight, then they will. I still can't believe that it happened the way it did. Let's see what Darvin Ham had to say about tonight's loss.
He had some guys that struggled from the field. It's just unfortunate. You know, we competed for most of the game, and again, it's a make or miss league, and you got to make open looks when you get them, and you know that's just the way the ball bounces sometimes. So, our biggest thing is just to get back, fill our cups back up, and then go defend our home court just as they did tonight.
Well, that's a man that just pretty much admitted defeat. And yes, everything that he said was true. They were competitive. The first 3 quarters, well, the first 2 quarters, the first 5 or 6 minutes of the third quarter, they were competitive because they went off halftime, they came off the bench, they were down 9 points. They went on an 8-0 scoring run to get within 1, but they couldn't get after that because Memphis started returning or retaliating from the scoring run. They went on a 12-0 scoring run after the Lakers got within 1. And it's true what he said. The team just was off tonight. They weren't playing the typical Laker basketball we saw in Game 1, which brings me to my point that they cannot win on the road. That they are lucky that they won Game 1 because this would have been a reverse role where they had to win at home to come back here one more time. But you got that Game 1 win. You won there once. Now you're in the position where you're going to go to your home crowd on a Friday night. You're not doing it on Friday. Go watch. On a Friday night. You get to put this team away. You're going to be the 7th seed, putting away one of the top teams in the Western Conference. Now, chances are you're probably going to play Denver, or you're probably going to play Sacramento. So, for the Lakers, your best advice, wrap this up fast. Had they won tonight, they would have been on a couple days rest, waiting for the other series to conclude, which is the Golden State-Sacramento series. They had a chance to put it away tonight, get some rest, and get ready for the next round, but they didn't. Now, some teams or some people will say, hey, Edward, it's fine. They finished 7 games. They're going to keep playing. They got the momentum. Let's go. That's true. But when you go deep in the playoffs, if your series if your every series round is 7-game series that ends in the 7th game, you're going to be worn out by the time you get to the NBA Finals. You're not going to have nothing left. I know it's the best of 7, and the first to 4 wins will go on, but you want to get those wins fast so you can get some rest time, especially if you're banged up. This team was banged up all season. They hardly played together, especially when they made the trade to bring D'Angelo Russell back to LA. Keep in mind, LeBron James missed about 10 weeks because of an ankle injury or leg injury. Anthony Davis was out half the season. You know, Russell Westbrook was here. He was a veteran. It just didn't work out. So the advantage point for the Lakers is to wrap up your series, get your rest, and then go from there. I said LeBron James had 17 points tonight. Let's see what he had to say after this loss.
LeBron, Game 6, Friday, back at home. Darvin said you almost have to treat it like a Game 7 in a sense. Obviously, you don't want to come back here. It might extend minutes. What are the most important things that you've learned over the course of this series about what you guys have to do to win that game on Friday?
Not turn the ball over, defensive rebound, keep them out of transition. That's where they're very elite. And when we're in tune with those facets of the game, we're pretty good.
How much, all the experience you've had in all the different home arenas, like how much do you get an actual boost when you're fatigued, when you don't have legs from a crowd in that kind of a setting?
The crowd automatically gives you an extra boost, but we also have to be mentally locked in, understand the assignments, and execute those close to 48 minutes as possible.
The way these first 5 games have gone, LeBron, it just seems like if AD has a strong offensive night, you might not, and vice versa. If you do, he hasn't. Is that coincidental? Has that been from the Grizzlies, their defensive schemes? Did you explain that at all?
No, we just haven't put together 2 performances together, but we still have put 3 team efforts together to be up 3-2, and that's what's most important. It's not about what AD and myself are doing. It's about how we can win basketball games. And tonight I was shit, and I'll be better in Game 6.
When they went,
I do want to apologize for that. I guess he showed what he really meant he was tonight, and I won't say it, but y'all get the picture. So interesting points there from the King. He's been in this situation many times. You go back to the Cleveland years, to the Miami years, and here with the Lakers. It's still early to determine what his future will be when the season's over. Will he be back, or will coach just call it quits? 38 years old. He played 50 minutes or so on Monday. I'm pretty sure he was really worn out, And the guy his age, your body wears and tears. It just does. You just cannot escape that. No matter how many physical therapies you do, no matter how many intensive training sessions you have, you still are going to have to deal with the fact that your body's breaking down. He missed a lot of time this year, which is really bad. Because now you're taking your body to another level. You're playing the intensity here in the playoffs. You possibly might go to a 7-game series if you don't take care of business on Friday, which they have to do. There's just no other way on it, folks. They have to win Friday. If they go back to Memphis on Game 7, they're not going to win. Unless they change the performances that he said. Rebounding, scoring, stopping them in transition, not turning the ball over. If they can win on those 5 factors, then they could go to the next round and basically set them up for a run in the playoffs. It's, going to be hard to determine what's going to happen between now and Friday. I know Friday will be jamming. But here's the thing. Can they do it? And one thing that got me there was that the reporter pretty much hit the nail on the head. AD has one game good, LeBron doesn't. They are going to have to find a way to where both of them have good games, because it's going to determine on that. This is why you brought your players here. This is why they made the trade. They won more games with this trade they had all season with Russell Westbrook. So it shows the trade was a genius move. But again, it all comes down to winning it. Can they do it? So after this short break, we're going to talk more basketball. The Clippers lost in 5 games to the Phoenix Suns last night. What's next for the Clippers? What moves will they have to make to come back from a disappointing season? We know that they're going to move to a new arena. But what's that going to mean going into next season? Can they bring in the players to make that step? We know they own the Lakers. And I hate to say it, they own the Lakers. But you got your butt kicked in the playoffs. So what do the Clippers have to do to make that next move? We'll talk about that next when we come back.